Hey everybody, guess what? I am so excited. I'm going on a trip. I am heading out to the Rocky Mountains in Alberta and I'm going to be shooting for 3 days. First in Calgary and then in Banff and then another day of just, excuse me, whatever suits my fancy. I have a full day workshop with a really amazing photographer. Her name is Kristen Repsher, and if you get a chance, you should look her up. She's got amazing images from all over the place, and we're going to be doing a one-on-one for a whole day. At the end of November, I am heading out. Now, I am preparing, and there is an awful lot to do. As you can imagine, I have to make sure that all of my stuff fits into the plane and that it's going to be good for the changing weather conditions. Calgary is known for quickly changing weather, and also I've checked the weather report recently and they are well into the minus temperatures already, and in the mountains that's not going to be any better. So I'm really looking forward to this. I do love winter shooting, but I have purchased a few extra things to make sure that I am completely ready for this trip. So I just want to share with you. First, I want to share, I just have received my latest canvas that was on order, and I just wanted to share it with you. It's, sorry for the lights and glare and stuff, but anyway, this is a picture that I took on one of my latest trips with my husband, just to a nearby provincial park, and there was this driftwood on the beach. It was completely incredible, and I took, probably about 50 pictures of it, just trying to get that perfect angle, and there were, sorry, I'm going to show you again, storm clouds right behind, and sunlight lighting up that driftwood, and I was so excited. So anyway, so going into the mountains, now we're talking, it's winter time and it's cold, and there are a few things that are very, very important. One, your outerwear. You have to be comfortable. You can't go shooting out in the cold without being properly attired. Otherwise, you'll be there about 5-10 minutes and then the trip will be over. Okay, so there's outerwear. There's also the camera gear. It's not the same as if you're shooting in the summertime or even in the fall. You need to be prepared to take care of your equipment and make some extra precautions to protect against the elements and the cold. So there's that, and also I have some special stuff for my computer in terms of backing up my my photos, and just general travel things like books and maps and stuff. So I'll get into it. I'll start showing you. First thing is my travel bag. This is my camera bag. It's a Lowepro. I'll put the name of it and everything in the description so that you can look it up. But I love this bag. So first of all, it fits the carry-on requirements for the airplane, which is great because I don't want to put my camera in checked luggage. If it goes missing, if there's, they're throwing bags around and it gets damaged, I'm going to be really upset. So this is going to be my carry-on. It's got a great side pocket where I can put my camera. I'm actually bringing 2 cameras and my lenses, okay? And what I love about this bag is that I can be wearing it on my back. I can take off one arm, swing this around, and I have access to my stuff without actually taking off the whole bag. The bag itself is pretty waterproof, but in the bottom, there's also a cover. This just goes right over the whole bag, and when it's raining or snowing, I've got, everything is protected. And it even covers the bottom so that I can put it down on a snowy landscape, somewhere wet. Yeah, that's really important to me. It's got a bunch of other pockets. One that's really important is this side pocket, and that's where I'm going to be putting my laptop. I use a MacBook, and I'm going to be putting it right in there. I also put in here a whole bunch of these Ziploc bags because when you're shooting out in cold weather, so you've got your camera and your lens and everything gets really cold, okay? But when you move from a cold area into a warm area, things fog up. There's condensation. It's going to get on the inside of your camera, the outside of your camera, and that's very damaging. Think of it like when you come in from the cold and your glasses fog up. Same thing. You don't want to have that moisture inside your camera. So all I do is while I'm still out in the cold, I put my lenses and my camera into a Ziploc bag or any other airtight bag. And then I put it into my camera bag and I bring it into the warmth and I leave it there for a good few hours, and that lets it slowly warm up so that you don't have any problems. If you want to review your images before the few hours pass that things warm up, you're going to probably want to do that. All you got to do is take out your SD card before you put it in your bag, and then you have your SD card and you can slip it in your card reader or your computer and you can enjoy your images. This bag also has a good top pocket. You can put food in here. I'm going to put my personal things and another front pocket. Yeah, so Lowepro, make sure that everything that you bring that's going to be outside basically is waterproof, and make sure you have a good bag, and make sure that it is according to the size requirements for carry-on luggage. So that's the bag. The next thing would be for my camera and lenses. I already talked to you about the Ziploc bags, but I've also purchased a bunch of extra rain covers for my camera, because if it's snowing, if it's raining, I'm not going to want to sit it out. I'm only there for 3 days and I'm going to be shooting no matter what the weather. So I have a more permanent rain cover. It's okay. It's one of those where you put your hands in the side. This goes over the lens and you can secure it to the lens so that no matter what length it is, it's okay. And then it's got a see-through back so that you can see your camera, you know, the controls and so on, and still work your camera. I don't really need to see the controls too much because I've been using Sony for such a long time. But most people, and even me, at some point you're going to want to see what you're doing. This one's okay. I find it a little bit stiff, and the biggest problem I have is usually just when I want to zoom a lens in or out. It's just that little bit stiff, and it gets kind of awkward. But I'm going to bring it because it works. That's an Altura, and it wasn't too expensive. I don't like to spend tons and tons of money if I don't have to, but there are some things that it's really important to use really good equipment. So I also have these disposable rain sleeves, and I really like these ones. This is Optech USA rain sleeve. It's the 18-inch ones. It works the same as the other one, except it doesn't have the two hands in the side. You can put your hand up underneath. And yeah, you can work your camera. It's much more flexible, so I like that. And it has a little hole at the back that you just stretch over your eyepiece, so that if you like to put your face right up to the eyepiece, which I do, you can easily do that without any restrictions. That's something that the other one doesn't have. And you can also get these that encompass like a flash, that have space for a flash. I've never needed to do that, but anyway, so I've got a whole bunch of extra ones of these. They don't take up much room, and they'll be good for snow, rain, whatever. It also helps with, you have to be careful in wind, because in the wind, the cover that you have on that will shake, and just make sure that it's not affecting your focus. So that's that. What else? The cold weather loves to drain your batteries. So you're out and shooting, and you're going to get, 4 or 5 hours out of your battery, say. When you're out in the extremely cold weather, not even close. So I already have 4 batteries. I've bought another one. So just keep these babies maybe tucked into a coat pocket so that they stay warm. That can help to help with your battery life as you're shooting, okay? And then just pull them out as needed, and then just kind of swap them in and out. Same thing with if you're going to bring flash on a travel photography trip. I'm probably going to not bring flash this time, because I'm really excited about the landscape, about the mountains, and Calgary and Alberta, and just what the nature outside-scapes are. But if you're shooting in cold weather, and say you're doing a wedding or something else and you're outside, again, extra batteries. Always bring extra batteries. Batteries do not like the cold. So that's that. outerwear. Okay, so this is, like I said at the beginning, this is really, really important. In fact, I'd say it's of the utmost importance that you have batteries that are charged so that you can shoot, a camera that's protected from the elements, but also your hands and your feet and your body that's protected from the elements so that you can shoot. So these are my new boots. I am very excited to be using these. They're very lightweight. They're Baffin Sequoia boots, and they are men's boots because I find that women's things tend to be more fashionable and less practical. So I have these cute little men's boots, and they're good to minus 50 degrees Celsius. Now, that may be true if you're walking along. When you're doing photography, you're kind of standing still a lot. So you want to make sure that you have good boots because you're going to experience that cold a lot quicker than someone who's hiking, say. Okay, the other thing that's important when you're choosing outerwear is to make sure that you have stuff that will keep you from getting wet. Okay, so, and that by that I mean not only do they have to be waterproof, but you don't want to be sweating. Okay, if you're sweating, your feet are going to get wet, and then the cold is going to affect you very, very quickly, and that can get dangerous very, very quickly. So these are my Baffin Sequoia boots. They're very light, they're waterproof, they've got extra heating padding, they even have a cool thing in here with a strap to pull it out. I'm really excited about these boots. The other thing is, I have winter coats and I shoot outside in winter, and in Ontario it can get pretty cold, like minus 20, minus 30, and yeah, it's really important to have a good coat. But I actually bought an extra layer for this trip. So this is called a Midlayer. It's you can wear it on its own as like a fall coat. It's very light, it's very soft, but it's filled with down. And it's actually meant to go between your body and your coat. So it's like adding another layer to your coat. And I've tried it out. It is extremely warm. I don't sweat. It's very comfortable. It's very soft, and it fits right underneath my winter coat, which is waterproof. Make sure you have everything waterproof. So that's that. And at the same time, don't neglect your legs. I have snow pants. And are they waterproof? Yes, they are. So they have the little elasticy thing at the bottom so that you can make sure they're snug around your boot. Mine are actually a bit long, so I'm just going to fold this top part up. But you saw that my boots are a little bit high, so that's okay because these are going to go on top, and there's not going to be any part of me that's cold. These ones actually come with cool straps, but I don't really think it's necessary, but the pants were good, so I bought them. So snow pants, coat, a mid-layer. You're going to want to wear a good base layer underneath your clothes as well, like your coat and your snow pants. So make sure that you have things like leggings, long johns that are made of either like fleece or merino wool that keep you nice and warm. Same thing for a shirt underneath. Because I'm going to Calgary, and Calgary is known for quickly changing conditions. I want to make sure that I have lots of layers. So that means I don't want big bulky layers, but I want several warm and strategic layers so that if it gets warm, I can take off some layers. That way I'm not sweating. And if it gets cold, I can put those layers on and I'll always be comfortable and I'll always be safe. Good quality hiking socks is very good too. Make sure that you get stuff with a high merino wool content. Keeps your feet really comfy, really warm, really dry. I love these socks. You can get thicker ones from different outdoor stores, but you can go to Costco. If you have Costco nearby, they sell merino wool socks and also base layers as well. And they're good price. So that's clothing. I am going to be bringing my computer along with me, as I mentioned. So I have my laptop, which is Apple, and I also have a couple of these guys. Now, I know you can get a whole bunch of really fancy hard drives and backup things and so on, but all I'm really doing is I'm bringing a couple of Seagate 2 terabyte hard drives, 1, 2, I may get a third one, but I should be fine with 4 terabytes. And so what I'm going to be doing is while I'm shooting, I'm also, I've got some extra SD cards, 64 gigabytes, probably a bit more. I'm going to get higher ones as well. So when I'm shooting, my camera has 2 slots for SD cards, and I set it to record onto both simultaneously. Okay, and I do this because then I always have a backup. I mean, I'm spending a lot of money. I'm traveling out to the Rocky Mountains, and I'm going to be in this incredible place. This trip is not going to happen twice. I may have another trip in the future, but this trip is special. It's this trip. So I don't want to lose any of my photos. So I've got the 2 cards simultaneously recording, and then as I fill up a card, I'm going to put a new card in and a new 2 cards in. And then actually what I can do when I get back to my hotel is I'm going to put it onto my computer, onto the Seagate hard drive, back it up there, and then I can clear my backup one and keep one still on an SD card and then one on the Seagate backup hard drive, and then I can delete one of the other SD cards and start recording over that. So that's my plan for that, and also I have an iCloud account with extra storage, and so I tend to back things up there as well. Yeah, and then I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to go. I love traveling. I love travel photography. I went out to CAA and they gave me a bunch of free maps and tour books. So I always make sure to have maps, because even though I do have GPS on my phone and maps on my phone, you can easily lose service. You can lose your phone might die, whatever, and then what are you going to do? How are you going to get places? Always have maps. So if you're a CAA member or other Auto Club member, they may give you free books like they did for me. And then I went to the bookstore and I bought this one, Banff, Jasper, and Glacier National Parks. This is a Lonely Planet tour book, and I just find that it has a lot more of, whereas the other tour book just has like hotels and listings and so on, this one has a bit more information about the place itself. Yeah, I can't wait. Now, the other thing that I am considering is maybe renting a satellite phone while I'm there, just in case I'm going through parts of the park that, and my car breaks down or something, then I have backup. And my husband also is giving me his GPS, handheld GPS, so that I can find my way. But yeah, so that's, oh, I almost forgot, really important, gloves. So, gloves, I'm bringing 2 sets of gloves, and I actually might just bring 3 sets of gloves, but great way to pack for a cold weather photography trip. You never want to have bare hands, because if we get into minus 20, minus 30 degrees Celsius, having bare hands for even a few minutes can cause problems. Like you can get frostbite, you can start to really put yourself in danger. So I have a really good pair of not too thick, but warm base layer gloves, okay? And these they're not bulky, so I can operate my camera, and I will never ever have these off, okay? But they're not enough when it gets really, really cold. So a nice outer layer, again layers, and waterproof pair of gloves, and I put these on, okay? These keep my hands warm, and then when I'm ready to shoot, I can change settings and do it. I actually wanted to get, there are gloves that you can get where these ones just flip back and then your fingers are free, and I will probably do that for the next trip. But for this trip, this is what I'm using. The other thing is that these gloves have a little spot right in the front for hand warmers. So you can buy these little packets. All you do is really shake them up, and that gets them started, and they get warm. And you put that right inside the glove, and so you're warming up a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently when you're out shooting. Okay, so gloves and boots, hands, feet, extremities, all of that is very, very important. Don't forget your gloves. Okay, and a similar thing, I have a, it's here somewhere, I have a balaclava. Okay, so it's basically a hat. It goes all the way around here, and it can come up all the way up to here. So you can cover yourself right up if you need to. You can also flip it back and have it like just a scarf, okay? Or you can have it up like this and around the back. The one that I bought is very, oh, it's right here. Hang on. It's called a convertible balaclava, so that it changes with the conditions as you need it to. So here we go. I can have my face out and everything covered. I can pull this up, which is great too. I can have that back and just have that. I can have it down like a scarf. Okay, so yeah, make sure that you have your head covered. And I like this one. Some of them are just a circular opening in the front, but this one actually has two flaps that kind of overlap so that it makes it easier to transform it into different shapes and so on. So this one is Bula balaclava, made in Canada, and I think I got this one from Costco as well. So that's it. I'm heading out end of November to Banff National Park, the Rocky Mountains in Alberta. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to show you guys the pictures. And yeah, so follow your dreams, guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye.